Let's see. It's Thursday, March 25th. It's been a few days. Um, I've made a few of these, but I didn't like everything that I had to say in them, and I only do the one take. So if I say something I don't like, then the whole thing just I can put it up and then just mark it private, or I can just not put it up at all. And I guess in the past couple of these, I just decided to not even bother. I mean, there was something in there that was okay to say, but just stuff degenerates and takes turns and becomes even too dark and dismal and dire for my own taste. And it's like, I don't need to reinforce those ideas by inflicting them on myself at a later time. I know my thinking, and I get enough of it. So, anyway, um, I just got back from a run. Um, I went out the same way I went on Tuesday after work. Um, Went out from here, out the Greenway Trail that way, and followed it all the way to the end where it ends. Continued on the road, crossed the interstate, up over, across, and then down the other side, and to that first mailbox at the end, at the bottom of the hill, and tap it, and then turn around and come back. And that was where I went on Tuesday for the first time that I'd ever gone that far. And it took me right around 21 minutes to get that far to the mailbox. And I got back and I was struggling, those last 8 minutes, and my left heel of my left foot was starting to bother me some, but it's like, oh well. And but I got back at a clean 42 and nothing, and so I felt good about that. And because my on Tuesday it was 42:25. So I did the exact same distance, and I shaved 25 seconds off. Not that I really, care about that, but I like it, still. I like it. Um, and I even went at a time when there was more traffic today. Um, on Tuesday I went after work, so it was in between when people are driving to work and before lunch. So I went around like 10:30, and then this morning I was out there. It was like, 7:45. Well, I started around 7:30, I guess. And so there was a good amount of traffic, people going to work. So at a few places I was even actually, slowed down, having to wait for cars. And then that whole, well, they see me waiting and then they slow down. And then they expect me to know that they're waiting on me. And then I look at them and then they look at me and then they flash their lights. And then I go, and it's like, couldn't you just have gone, and then I could have gone? And it's like, people insist on being friendly. I don't know why. Anyway, I know. But anyway, I had a good run. And also, I'm coming out of having had, a series of good exchanges. And it's like, it is what it is. And I value the contribution in my life for what it is. Ow. Anyway. But it's still fun. It's worthwhile to me. And if I'm helping, I know it helps me. And if I'm helping them, then good. and also having that effect as well, because what, how, however it is I am helped, it spreads, it gives me encouragement and belief in myself, and I carry that forward, and it spreads to people around me, and has a more real effect. So it's like it's possible that I have the same effect on their end. It's like whatever I'm giving, whatever it is, I don't know exactly. It spreads from their end to their other people and their lives, both also online and also in their in their lives. Whoever they encounter, whether it's just on the street or about out and about in talking to people, and just interacting and being in the world, just being a more active participant in our own lives, instead of how I usually am, which is just a recluse, where I don't want to talk to people, I don't want to engage with people, I just want to not be seen and just leave me alone, so anyway. And it's like, it's not so bad, and I did get it, I did get smiled at on the trail this morning. There was a pretty girl going the other way, and I was about 10 minutes into my jog, and at that time I was in stride and felt good and felt strong and had a good posture and form, and and she was just walking the other direction, and and I got a good smile. I like that smile, and I was able to give a good morning and not be too weird and just keep on my way, and just that's it. That was it. Um, so I like that, a little bit of attention, and then on the way back I think it was the same person, and by that point I was towards the end of my run, and I was probably not looking as strong, and was not, so I was just like, all I could manage was just a wave of acknowledgement. I think it was the same person, um, but I don't know. But anyway, she was getting ready to jog herself at that point. The first time, whoever it was I saw was walking, and then on the way back I saw somebody, and they looked about the same. Like, of course, I'm not really good with details, paying attention, but I don't know. It looked about the same person. I'm not sure. But anyway, but I get self-conscious, so especially when I don't feel very good about myself. And towards the end of my run, I wasn't feeling too good about myself. I just wanted to be done with it, and I didn't want to be seen. So anyway. And then I did a nice little walk afterwards. And did I mention it was cold out? I didn't realize how cold it was out. And I was okay at the very beginning, and because I knew I'd warm up. I didn't warm up. I only stopped noticing how cold it was. I guess I warmed up a little bit. But it was cold. At one point, I was breathing heavy enough, and it was cold enough that I could see my breath. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's cold. If I can see my breath still, it's cold. And it's like, it must have been like, I don't know, I haven't looked at the temperature, but like 40 degrees? I thought it was warmer than that. I could have sworn it was warmer than that. But I saw, and yeah, so 42 minutes, and then I did a walk. Must have walked for a good 20 minutes. And that's when I started to get really cold, because I had broken a sweat, and and I actually still have goosebumps because I'm still cold. My hands are cold. But it was during my walk that I started to get really cold, and I was like just holding my arms close to myself, just kind of warm up my hands, which are starting to warm up. It's good to be indoors. And there was, it's spring. Lots of birds and squirrels, and trees are starting to bud, and leaves are starting to grow. And it's just the very beginning stages. But signs of life. And not too many people out. It's like I feel like I'm the only, aside from cars, the life forms that I see are cars and myself. It's like people live in cars, or cars are, I don't know. Not too many people on foot. That's all I'm getting at. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it was too cold to be outside. I don't know. But anyway, I guess that's all I got. I don't think there's anything else really going on. I might tell a story later. I haven't decided yet. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I probably will anyway. Unless I'm told not to. If specifically told not to, then I won't. But given no direction, I probably just will. Just so it's available. I don't know. I mean, it's already been told, but it's hard to get at. And it's like, well, that was 2 years ago. So it's like, obviously I still have feelings there. So it's like, what do I feel about it now? Well, I think it was what happened needed to happen the way it happened, that's for sure. Now would not be possible if everything didn't happen the way it happened. So, and then also as far as Kelly was concerned, yeah, it was good that she, it was good for me, and it was good for herself. So she acted in her own best interest at the time, and it turned out that it was in my best interest too. She, I would, as part of the story, it's like I would later discover that, her and just her way of being and her belief structure were just so dissimilar to mine. It's like, just very religious, and I'm just not religious at all. So, not that there's anything wrong with that, but she was just very, very controlling. And if people weren't exactly like how she wanted them to be for her, then they had to go. I mean, that was my impression. If people didn't behave exactly so within her guidelines and specifications, they had betrayed her and they had to go. Wiped off the face of the planet, never existed. That was my impression. So if you were around her, you had to be, I don't know. There was like rules and stuff. It was, I don't know. I didn't last long, as it turned out. I didn't know I was breaking rules, but there were rules. And she granted me permission and reprieve for just a little bit, but, I didn't know about all the stuff that was going on, that I was being given special pass-fail checks or something, and then eventually, I don't even know. It was very strange. That was a different time. I was just barely aware of what was going on. But it was fun. I was thrilled to have the attention. And anyway, I'll write about it. This is just me waking up memories, because I put them to rest, for the most part. Even though I still remember, and there's nothing wrong with them. I don't have any negative feelings or attachments or associations to them. At the time I did, because I didn't understand and I didn't appreciate, I didn't care for. But no, everything had to happen the way it did, because I like how things are turning out. I still don't understand everything. Not everything makes sense, and I feel bound for further heartache in some way or another, because that's just how it goes. But it's everything is making room for something else. I go with that. I'm becoming the person that I need to be in order to, be the person capable, be the person or requirement for something else that I don't even know about yet. So it's like everything I'm going through right now, all my trials and tribulations and my deliberations and inconveniences and uncertainties, I deal with them now, and I learn something from them, I grow from them, and see what happens. I'm not in control. I just do my part and remain accessible, available, accountable, be myself, and I get results. I get results I can live with, and that's testimony to being on the right track. It might not be the best track or the correct track, but it's the track I'm on. And if I knew any different or I knew any better, I'd be doing that. But at this time, whatever mistakes I'm making, they're my mistakes, and I'm not choosing to make mistakes, but mistakes are inevitable. And so it's like, if I knew that they were mistakes at the time I was making them, would I make them? It's like, if I could go back and it's like, knowing what I know now, would I have, it's like, that's really dangerous. So it's like, I just, try to be good with where I'm at, what I'm doing, and enjoy, what I've got going on, because it's pretty cool. Like, I just keep, like, right now with the whole running thing, it's like, I still just can't believe it. It's like, I'm running? That feels like it shouldn't be possible. But there I am, out there. And it's like 42 minutes, and I'm going at a good pace. So it's like, I'm going like 4 miles or more, and it's like, if I get one of those little things, I don't even know what they're called, but they actually like measure distance, or like have GPS, and they can track how fast you're going or distance you're traveling. It's like, I'll be interested to see, like, how far am I actually going? I might not be going as far as what I think. That's always possible too. But I kind of think that I'm going farther, and I just don't know it, because I feel pretty good, and I don't feel like I almost deserve to feel as good as I do, or deserve to be running as well as I am. It's like, I haven't practiced. How am I already this good? Or, I mean, for me, this is for me talking, and only in reference and comparison to the history of my memories of self. I am already running, like, so much better. And it might just be the not smoking thing, too. Because even in my last many years of running, I was still smoking. And so it's like, I might just feel a lot better running just because of not smoking, which makes perfect sense. If you can't breathe properly, how are you supposed to be running? So anyway, it makes sense. I feel like I'm running like how I was running a long, long, long time ago. Back before I ever smoked. Crazy. So, I like it. I like it. I'm having fun. I hope to continue. So, and as far as the conversation that I've been recently having, it's like that's all I want is a continuation. And I've been able to say everything that I try to make sure that I get a chance to say everything that I mean to say, when I mean to say it, how I mean it. And I think it gets across that I don't mean any harm. And I'm trying to be as honest and upfront as possible about what I want. And what I want them to hopefully want from me. You know, communication, conversation, cooperation, collaboration, commiseration even, just not codependency. And then there's some other things too. I have a list somewhere, but it's written down. That's why it's written down, so I don't have to remember it. And the only reason I remember what I just said, because I just wrote it just a little while ago. So it's like it's all this kind of fresh. But, you know, I write these things down, and they're in my notes, so I don't have to remember them. And so I really do appreciate, you know, their contribution. You know, so it's like sanity checks. And it's like, are you real? Are you sure you're real? It's like, I don't even know. But I'll just take them at their word that they are real. They seem to be real. You know, so, anyway. Well, this video is going up. I know the other ones are still floating around in there, and I could put them up, but I'm not going to. I don't even know what's on them. I don't even know what it is on them that I don't like, but I guess I get a little bit negative sometimes. I fall into despair, and as if that's not normal. But I don't know. Before this has a chance to disintegrate into something that I don't like, I'll just try to keep it upbeat and, you know, try to be happy about that. And I need to take a shower, get cleaned up, maybe get something to eat or something. I don't know. And then I need to go run some errands. Yay. I need to go to the bank and deposit checks. I hate doing that. But I have to. I mean, cost of living. You know, it's like I should get direct deposit and stuff, but I don't, because that requires me to have to talk to people. It's like I would rather go through all this extra work than to have to talk to people. I swear I am not a lost cause, and I'm not a lost soul, but I just am lost, you know, from time to time. So, anyway, I best get to it. I'm the only one who can do it. So, anyway, it's good chat.